Hi everyone, it's been about 5 months since we had the car remapped. I've had quite a few people on the channel asking me questions about how reliable is it, what difference did it make, how's the fuel consumption, and also I want to go back onto that same piece of road and check out what the 0 to 60 time is when we go in the opposite direction, because I realised afterwards that first run that we done was definitely an uphill. The other thing that people have been asking me about is the little OBD2 Torque app. So I'll show you how to plug that in and actually get your 0 to 60 time as well. So Harv, come and have a look inside. If you want to get in data off your car, the best and easiest thing is to get one of these small OBD readers. This one here I think is a Bluetooth version. Simply is going to connect up to our phone and it's going to plug into the small socket underneath. This is what I find you can use to read any of the error codes off. You can also get your 0 to 60. It will give you things like a calculation for the brake horsepower, and it also do lots of other things. What it won't do is some of the resets. You won't be able to do some of the advanced things that you can do on the more expensive tools as well. But here you go, let's just plug it in first of all. It plugs in just up underneath here, and you can plug it in just here like this. You can see when it's on, the little lights come on, even though when the dash is off. Let's get our phone set up now. I use this this Torque app simply by plugging in. Let's switch the car on, and we should see, hopefully, pretty much immediately, it should connect up with the little OBD communications. In fact, it's just checking there now, and hopefully any second, I guess, it will connect up and actually see that RPM. Okay, there you can see it's made the connection now. If I actually give it some throttle, you can see that revs is now increasing in there. And in here you can do all sorts of things like do the fault code reading, look at the real-time information. The real-time information is what we're going to use when we're actually out doing our 0 to 60. I've got a profile that's been set up in here. Come into here, you can see I've got my various things here for like revs, acceleration, etc. This is the one I'm going to be using, where I've got my 0 to 60, eighth of a mile, quarter of a mile, and also it gives me my GPS speed and also the revs, and calculates what my horsepower is. While we're in here, let's have another quick look as well, just to see what else is in there. The other thing I do find is this handy is this fault code reader. Currently it says I need to tap here to actually do that fault code reading. It takes a few seconds to do that. You can see it's building up now, 25, 28, 30%. By the power of YouTube, we'll probably zoom this forward. In fact, maybe you won't even need to because it's going so quick. And at the end of this, what it will do, it will give you an indication if it's found any recorded readings, any errors which are in there. Okay, that's done. In fact, happy days, it actually said no errors, no faults found. So that means, again, obviously that Remap hasn't found any issues over that time. Okay, so we'll use that in a minute. In terms of the Remap, my thoughts on it so far. I've done quite a lot of driving over that last 5 months, both on road and off road. On road, I've been finding that normally, before having the Remap, with the big tyres, the extra protection, the winch, the roof rack, and also with the wheel on top, all of that's obviously creating drag on the vehicle, and I was roughly getting around about 21, 22 miles to the gallon. After the Remap, I've been finding that's gone up by about 4, so generally speaking I'm in the sort of 26 miles to the gallon on average, but on long runs I've actually found that I can even get over 30 miles to the gallon, which is great for me. I know that might not sound super high, but in comparison, if I take those tyres off, I know I've got to set in the garage of normal road tyres, and that'll also have an effect of around about 4 to 5 miles to the gallon. So in theory, probably if I put the other tyres on with the Remap, I'm probably going to be in the high 30s, probably 36, 37 miles a gallon, I reckon, on the motorways and highways. Other thing as well, we're talking and show you a little bit about the off-roading. We have some videos showing where we've been on that. I found that extra bit of power, and especially the extra response for the throttle, has been very helpful, especially when you want to get out of any situations where you've got heavy mud that's actually bogging the vehicle down. You want to get a bit more speed on the wheels, get a bit more sort of spin to actually get through any of that heavy stuff. I found that's been really quite helpful because that extra like 30% more power really gets you going. First of all, let's actually get in the car. We'll go back to that same piece of road where we've done the 0 to 60 before and head back in the other direction and see what time we can get. This vehicle's a 2005. It's actually got quite a low mileage for the year. It's just coming up to 110,000. Some people also asked about, is it sensible to remap your car when it's got high mileage on it? Well, 110 or whether it's 200,000, there's probably not much difference in it, to be honest. I think the most important thing is, if you're going to remap, make sure that the vehicle's obviously been reasonably well serviced, that all the other components, such as you've had your diff oils changed, all those things that might sort of have a challenge with that extra horsepower that you're coming in there. But as I said, 110,000 miles and this one's going smooth as ever. Touch wood, touch plastic, whatever you want to say. Other people might also talk about, is it extra pressure on the crankshaft? I suppose yes, it probably is, but we also know that it's the same type of problem that people have, whether it's the D3 or the D4, and the D4 has a much higher output, so obviously pushing it up on the D3, the 2.7, that's not going to be, I think, as critical as if you're really pushing hard on the D4 and taking that well up into the sort of 300 brake horsepower that you can get out of those if they're remapped. So this is a spot where we previously done the 0 to 60. If you have a look out the front half, you can actually see it is fairly uphill. I hadn't really thought about it before when I pulled out from this lay-by, but what we're going to do is we're going to actually just go up to the roundabout at the top here, turn round. I think from memory last time I got to this like flyover bridge, pretty much it was just around about, I think just after that, probably around about here, where the 0 to 60 time came up. So we'll try and find a good place to stop on the way back and test it out. Okay, so it looks like it's clear the road now. Let's actually get lined up. Let's build up our revs. We're in the sport mode. 3, 2, 1, go! A little bit of wheel spin, I think, even there. Let's see what time we can get to. We're approaching the 55, 60 on the speedo now. Oh, that's a bit better. 12.27 0 to 60. And it tells me I had a max of 187 brake horsepower, but as I said before, I don't think that really works all the time correct. Yeah, that's better than it was. Maybe do one more time, just go around just to do a comparison. Right, second go. This time round, let's actually switch off the DSC. DSC switched off, because maybe that might have slowed us down a little bit, and we'll try now. Okay, so it's clear. Let's just move out onto the road, find a nice little spot for it. Let's see where it is. We're stationary, ready, build up the power and go! Can we beat that best of 12.3 seconds? It's gonna be, what's it gonna be? 11.6, there you go. So that must have made a little bit of difference at DSC when we had that little tiny bit of wheel spin, and that probably cut down the power to the wheels. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I know that some people say 11.6 seconds, that's pretty slow, but what you've got to remember is this vehicle is probably over 3 tons with all the stuff that's fitted on it, with the winch, the body armour, everything else that's going with it, not to mention those huge mud terrain tyres. So yeah, happy with it. Didn't leave too much of a big plume of smoke. I know on that first video that we done, it tended to belch a little bit out the back, but I've noticed, I think recently it's been not quite as bad. I don't know if something has got used to the vehicle, it's adjusted itself, I think, over a period of time. If I push it right to the very floor, yes, you will get some emissions out the back, but nothing that's too concerning. So happy with that, and let's take it back. And one final point, we will do another video as well on the X-Lifter soon. So please don't forget to subscribe and like to the channel. I'll give you some tips on what we've been doing with that off-road as well, and also again we'll show you some of those off-road videos where we've been taking the tuned D3 out there. Thanks a lot, take care.